Hello, this is Nick. I wanted to make another video to follow up on the two previous videos I made. One was about hero skills and hero XP, and the other one was about invaders. And there was some points that I felt like I was too vague about. Like I just mentioned them, but then didn't really explain them. So I wanted to make a video to explain those points a little bit better. So first of all, I want you to understand what Hero XP is. We're going to use the wonderful site vikingswiki.net, and it tells you how many skill points you get for each level. As you can see, the higher your level, which I am at 52 right now, the more skill points you get for reaching the next level. So while going from level 1 to level 2 just gives you an extra 1 skill point, going from level 51 to 52 gives you an additional 17 points. But nevertheless, the amount of skill points has scarcity, meaning no matter what, you're not going to be able to max out even just one side. And what I mean by one side is, I told you there was a military side and then an economic side, and you could just focus on one. Even when all your skill points are done, when you're at level 60, you're still not going to be able to max out everything on both sides. I mean, everything on either side, because there's just too many. So the example I gave is, let's say you wanted to make a hero set that deals with just spying. The only thing you're going to be doing for the next couple hours is hitting other towns with spies. And I kind of just went through it and said, hey, look, you don't need to max everything else out. Why do you need any of this stuff to be any higher than required in order to reach the scouting skills? And so I explained that. I said that you could just focus on one, but I didn't say exactly why you would want to do that. And the reason for that is, look how far I can get by just focusing on one. There's no more scout stuff left in here. I maxed out scout health all the way to 50. I maxed out scout defense all the way to 50. And I maxed out scout offense 1 and scout offense 2. Now, I'm going to show you that when I was doing just military and nothing else, but I was assigning points to every single type of troop, this is where I stopped. This was the last one that I could max out before I ran out of points. Let me show you this. As you can see, I have 0 left on each side, and I can't go any further down than this. So in order to reach these points for scout defense and scout health, I have to ignore the other type of troops, which is fine if all you're going to be doing is scouting. I felt like I was too vague about that. I hope that explains it a little bit better. The second thing I said that I felt that I didn't really explain thoroughly was my opinion about the value of knowledge. I just briefly said if I was to start over again today, I would only do invader knowledge and nothing else. I would literally pretend these other 4 do not exist. Now, why did I say that? Well, it's actually pretty simple. The invader gear that you get can give you bonuses for a learning speed, and this is just one example. This is a Gascon boot. Gascon is a type of invader. This one gives you 18% on your learning speed. And so let's pretend that I skipped all of these 4, just focused on invaders, and now I am able to equip the Gascon boots. Let's just say that I know you need hero level 50. It would still take you some time to do that. But let's pretend now I have learning speed plus 18. When I do decide to go back and do all my military, my economic, my espionage, and my training learning, everything from that point on costs 18% less when I have that gear installed. So that means when I'm trying to boost things, I now don't have to use as many boosts. So when you start out the game, you buy all these boosts and you spend them on all your knowledge. Meanwhile, you could have just done nothing but invader knowledge, got yourself the gear that makes all your other knowledge cheaper, then went back and got this knowledge. That is what I meant by that. If I was to start over again, I wouldn't build an army. I wouldn't care about my economic stuff. I would just buy packs with resources, and I would only do invaders. I would get my experience points through invaders. I would get my gear to minimize the cost of my learning. Once I got that, I could then do the rest of my knowledge. It's an efficiency thing. I plan on making a whole video on just efficiency. I just kind of need to put it together in my mind exactly what I want to, the message I want to relay with that. Okay, third thing, I used this picture to illustrate why you want to hit Invader 5 and not Invader, and I said avoid Invader 3, and then I kind of showed how it progressed, that Invader 1 is bad, Invader 2 is a little bit better, Invader 3 is the worst one of them all. It's worse than Invader 2. It's better than Invader 1, but it takes a whole lot more knowledge than Invader 1. Invader 4 is much better than all of them, and then Invader 5 is quite a bit better than Invader 4, and Invader 6 is only a little bit better than Invader 5, which is why I suggested you shouldn't hit invaders. Well, I wanted to explain what these numbers mean. So I made a little chart for you guys so you could understand what all that meant. Sorry, it's actually here. So material works this way. You have 5 different tiers of material. The most useless one is simple, and the best one is legendary. So you can actually craft legendary items from nothing but simple material, but you need a whole lot. And what this chart really is saying is, in order to make 1 usual out of simple, you need 4 simples. In order to make 1 unusual out of simples, you need 16. A rare, you need 64. An epic, you need 256. And you would need 1,024 simple items to make 1 legendary piece. And it also has to be the same item. So you see how I have arrow shaft? I have 7 simples, so I could actually add another usual to that. Then out of those 4, I can create 1 unusual, because okay, so we have 4 usuals. If I wanted to create 1 unusual, it takes 4. Each one goes up in 4. So you need 4 epics to create 1 legendary. So really, I could make 2 legendary brocades from what I have. What he meant by these numbers is that hero energy is the currency that you put into the invaders when you're hitting them. And efficiency there means you don't have to spend as much money on buying packs with hero energy in order to get the best gear. So just an example, we'll compare Invader 1 to Invader 5. In order to get a legendary piece of material, and not even just 1 legendary piece of material, just enough simple items that would equal 1024, you would need to use 218,000 hero energy, which is a whole shit ton of hits on level 1 invaders. You know, I think they don't take but maybe I think it's like 10,000 hero energy to hit, so you'd have to kill like 21 of them. With Invader 5, you only need to use 28,000 versus 218,000 hero energy to get enough items to make 1 legendary. Now be careful though, if he got an epic of one sort and then a rare of a different sort, he would still assign the same points. He would give a 256 and then 64. So it doesn't mean that if you use 28,000 hero energy on hitting 1 Invader 5, you can suddenly craft your legendary brocade. No, you're going to get just this number of materials out of it. That could be spread out over 5 or 6 or 7 different types of materials. Maybe one day I'll explain that a little bit better. Bottom line is this. Invader 5s are way more efficient than Invader 1. They're actually the most efficient when it comes to the amount of knowledge you need to learn, because Invader 6 is so expensive. So Invader 5 is really when you want to be at. Last but not least, I showed you the type of packs you need to get in order to hit invaders. I had this up for like 2 seconds and then I closed it. So I wanted to just reiterate what these are and why they're important. Like I said, in order to get items out of invaders, you have to spend hero energy. That is the currency that you're using, and the items you get is basically like your return on investment. These packs give you this hero energy. So 300 times 2,000, that's 600,000. That's another 600,000. So that's already 1.2 million hero energy just from these two slots right here. I didn't do the numbers. I didn't see exactly how much that was. I think it's roughly 1.8 million, maybe about 2 million. So you can kill quite a few invaders with just this pack alone. The relocations are important because the closer you are to the invaders, the less time it takes to kill them. And, well, I'm actually not close to an invader now. But remember I told you in the previous video that these boosts, attack on invaders, are scarce. You only get so many of them for each pack, and you cannot buy them with gold. You cannot buy them at the clan store. The only way to get them is through these packs, which you'll see this one has 10 of them. So if you only have 1 hour to hit invaders, you want to be as close to them as possible. And these march speed ups, if you're using the relocators, you don't need them for this. I mean, really, these march speeds are more useful for attacking towns than they are for dealing with invaders. But every other item in here is specifically for attacking invaders. If you want to get a lot of invaders, you need to buy this pack. The other way is to sit there and wait for your hero energy to grow back. And even at my level, I only have 1390, which means I can hit level 5 invader, I think, twice. And then I'll have to wait another 2 hours before I can hit him again. I couldn't imagine getting anywhere doing that. Maybe some people have, but it would take a really, really long time. So that's the video. I hope I wasn't vague about anything else that I will have to then go back and explain. I hope this wraps up some of those loose ends, and I'm going to have another video hopefully tomorrow. I may make it today, but I haven't decided what it's going to be on yet. If you have any questions, please ask. The question helped me decide what to make new videos about. So thank you. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you like the series. And like I said, comment on YouTube. I promise I will answer. Bye.